SeatGeek is the easiest way to find the best deals on tickets to pretty much any live event. Concerts, sports, theater, comedy, whatever you want. Download the SeatGeek app today and enter promo code SEATS to save $20 on your first purchase.
What's going on, guys? It's Terez, Paylor, Chiefs beat writer for the Kansas City Star, and we're here for a very special edition of our Chiefs podcast. The Chiefs signed Darrelle Revis, cornerback they're banking on to help solidify number 2 cornerback spot, especially a nickel outside of Marcus Peters on the other side of Marcus. And very interesting move. It's a team-friendly deal, 2 years, veteran minimum this year, no guaranteed money next year. It's a flyer, but they're banking on the fact that the guy can recapture some of his past greatness because he lost a lot of weight. You'll hear that in this podcast. And he seems pretty excited to be on a good team, and I think that was important to Darrelle. In this podcast, we will hear from Andy Reid about why he made the decision. We will also hear about and also how the Chiefs came to make that decision and what they think about Darrelle. You will also hear from Darrelle Revis himself, who took questions from the media and had a lot of interesting things to say about why he thinks this is a great fit, why the timing is right, why he thinks he's in way better shape than he was last year. And then finally, you'll hear an emergency pod with the A-team. There's me and Mellinger and Vahe Gregorian as we break down how our thoughts on this thing and whether or not we think it's going to work out. So we hope you guys enjoy it. You know, it's Thanksgiving and we're still delivering for you because, you know, that's what we do. So if you enjoy this, do me a favor. Like, if you appreciate the hard work, because the Game Plan podcast is coming out too. You get a twofer on Thanksgiving, which is our way to say thank you to you. But you can say thank you to us by going to iTunes and rate and reviewing our Sports Beat KC podcast. Rate and review it, pull it up, click on podcasts, type in Sports Beat KC, show podcasts in iTunes store, and click ratings and reviews, and go ahead and rate and review us, man. We'd appreciate that. If you appreciate what we're doing, that would be a nice way to show your appreciation. So, all right, without further ado, here's Andy Reid on why the Chiefs decided to sign Darrelle Revis.
Hey, Andy, reasonable to think he could play Sunday?
You know what, we're going to just see, where he's at. He'll get out and move around a little bit, and let's just see where he's at. And I told him the same thing. There's no, there's no hurry. He's a veteran guy. He looks like he's in good shape, which is which he says he is. So he's been moving around, but working out. We'll see. Let's just see where he's at.
But you're not ruling it out right now.
No, but he knows the system. That's why. That's the only reason I wouldn't. But I've got to see where we're at here too. So we're not going to rush him into anything until he's ready to go.
What kind of role do you see from him? If not Sunday, then at some point later on this season, Andy.
Well, you're talking about one of the all-time great players at that position. So, and it's just a matter of getting him back in the swing of things and seeing where he's at. He's excited to be here. We're excited to have him here, and I would think his role would be to step in and be a starter. I mean, that's how I would look at it.
This is a pretty big move, obviously, Andy. Do you guys feel like that the coverage at the back end was holding you back?
Oh, listen, I don't know about all that, Adam. I would just tell you that, you have an opportunity here to add a quality player and a quality person to your team. Brett Veach is always looking to upgrade, which is great. And he and his guys did this. They deserve the credit on it. And so they worked it out with Darrelle and his people, and I thought they did a nice job doing it, getting him here.
What's the roster move?
We haven't done anything yet, so we're just going through all that now, so we'll let you know when that goes up.
Coach, in order to make a move like this at this point in the season, how important is it that he is familiar with the defense compared to a player that isn't familiar, that's stepping in trying to do the same thing?
Well, I think it helps, BJ. I think it's a plus. But I've gone through this before. When I was a young coach in the league, we did this with Andre Rison one time, and he didn't really understand the offense at all. And when we were at Green Bay, and Ron Wolf brought him in, and it helped out, as the season went on. So I've probably seen it work both ways as you go through it. But I think it does help that he's familiar, he's close with Bob, and knows the system.
What kind of interactions have you had with Revis over the years?
Not much, not a ton there. So, PJ, just we know mutual people, and the league's it's a small league when you really get down to it, and he's been around a while, so we play against each other's teams quite a little bit over the years.
Yeah.
Andy, this is Dave. Maybe it's just a more pointed way to ask what Adam asked. So why now as opposed to 6 weeks ago or the training camp? I mean, he has been out there.
Yeah, well, he's ready to go now. He was coming off the wrist and that he had last year, and he was, this is when he was ready to go, and we felt the same way. So it was a nice mutual agreement that took place, and here we are.
Andy, what did Bob say about Darrelle's football character?
Yeah, very intelligent, which I think you guys either know or you will know just by talking to him. He's a very instinctive player. Again, I can tell you this from competing against him. So, from an offensive standpoint, he's a very hard worker on the field and off. And that's Bob saying this. So, he's been around him in those situations where I haven't.
Is it safe to say that you or somebody from the scouting part of it at least discussed this move with Bob before going forward?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Uh-huh.
Coach, considering he hasn't played this year, just from your conversations with him, I know it probably hasn't been a lot, but just what kind of sense did you get of how excited he is to get back on the field and compete again?
Well, that's probably another part I should have thrown in for T there. That Bob tells you that he's one of the most competitive guys around, so he's very excited to be here. He's been in the league a long time, so he's got a good feel. This isn't like his first rodeo here, so he gets it, and he's excited to be here and help the football team, and so be better. And that's really what his mindset is, and he's in a good place. He looks great, and we're excited to have him here.
Nobody would expect him to be athletically what he was 10 years ago. Is this one of those positions where the savvy, the ball skills, the experience can make up for that, even if he has lost a little bit athletically?
Yeah, no, I definitely think so. I think that listen, he's been around a while. I will tell you, he looks great. He looks great physically, and but time does that. Time will take a step away from you. That happens. But again, he's a smart guy that knows how to play the game, and then that becomes important at this point in his career. And I'm not telling you still can't run. I mean, he can still run, but that does become important as you get a little bit older.
How much does it solve for your defense if you get better at that corner position?
Oh, I think that's a good thing. That's a positive. we've had some young guys in there trying their hearts out, man, and doing a nice job for us too. So I think it's a win-win. You get a veteran guy, you have some young guys that still will continue to grow, and it's good for the football team. I think that's a positive thing all the way around.
Andy, did you watch him work out this afternoon personally, or did you just hear that from Brett?
No, that Brett did all that. Yeah. I've seen him firsthand. I haven't played against him, so I kind of know what he can do. Go ahead, say that again. Is this Kevin?
It felt like folks have just, picked at that position like a scab over the last few weeks.
Oh, listen, I wouldn't go that far with it, but you've got 22 on the other side. So if you're going to make a decision, if you have a decision to make to go one side or the other, you're probably going to go the other side, and then it can be perceived as picking. But that's what quarterbacks are going to go opposite a Pro Bowler and go to the other side just naturally. If they have a choice.
Coach, you got some veterans in that defense. Sorry, last question. You got some veteran leaders in that room. Just curious, in your conversations with Bob and everyone, how you think he'll just kind of acclimate himself to that group coming in at this point in the season.
Yeah, so I had a chance to talk to some of the guys before Darrelle even got into the building here. So just to get some of the veteran players, just to give them a heads up on him coming here. So obviously some of these guys know him from either Pro Bowls or wherever, being in the league a while. Like I said, it's a small fraternity, so I think they're excited to have him. He has a reputation of being a good guy, a hard worker, and a good guy. So players are good with that. they appreciate that.
Okay, good stuff from Andy there. Let's go to Darrelle. Here's his press conference. Here's what he had to say.
Well, you've accomplished a lot in your career. You didn't need to come back here and necessarily prove anything to anybody. So why are you here? What do you want to accomplish the rest of this season at least?
First of all, it's just exciting to have this opportunity to return back to football. I think the reason for me returning is the fire I have, the fuel that I have, to continue to play this game at a high level, and I'm excited. I'm excited about the signing today with the Kansas City Chiefs, and pretty great football team, and I'm joining their success. They're doing pretty well right now, and I think for both parties it makes sense right now.
What do you feel like you have left? What do you have to contribute?
My role is to help win. It's a lot that goes in during the week, during game planning, and whatever's best for the team. Whether my position is playing a few downs or playing in the slot, wherever coach wants to play me and feels that he can utilize me to help win, and that's what it's all about. It's just team effort, and that's what it's really about. At the end of the day.
You feel like you can play Sunday if they need you?
Right now, I'm just trying to take all of this in. The signing. It's been a long day. Had to go through physicals and shake a lot of hands and actually see a lot of familiar faces in this building. So, right now it's just a process of just, figuring out what's the next step and what's the next phase.
You healthy? I mean, you 100%, you feel like?
Yeah, I feel great. I think this time off for me is for me to reflect, on my career, and where I'm at in my career and what I need to do of taking care of my body and making sure, I come back 100%.
Give us a sense of how this all came together. When did all this kind of get started?
It's been the last 8 months. It's been a whirlwind in terms of me continuing to just work on my body and train. There's been a number of teams who've called, and for me personally, it was just for me mentally to get my body back where I need to get it at, and it was 100%. All the wear and tear over the years of out at the corner position is very tough. So Coach has you covering a one-on-one top receiver for the whole game for 4 quarters. It's pretty tough. So, for me, it's just I had to just really, figure out what was best for me during this time. And I've been training, I've been staying in shape, I've been doing the things that I need to do, and it made sense. It made sense. Like I said a little bit ago, so many familiar faces in here, and this signing made sense for us.
So when did you first hear from the Chiefs?
Oh wow, probably during the process and the phase of it at the beginning of the season. And we've been talking back and forth throughout the whole season, and it's all about time. And I think right now, of where I'm at, where my body is, and trying to come in and help and add an addition to the team, made sense for both parties. So this is where we're at today, and we're all excited about it.
Darrelle, there's actually a history in the NFL of kind of accomplished veteran players coming in at this point in the season, maybe a little sooner. I'm thinking Andy Reid, I'm thinking of Deion Sanders, coming in helping a team that's already good get to the next step. How conscious are you kind of of that history? How much do you kind of want to get there and help this team push forward?
As much as possible. I think that's why me signing here made sense for both parties. I've watched them throughout the whole year. The Chiefs, because the D coordinator, Bob Sutton, we've worked together in New York. So, big fan of Andy Reid as well. I still haven't been able to intercept one of his quarterback's passes, but now I'm actually teaming up alongside with him, and this phase right here for me is to the veteran I am is to pick Andy Reid's brain, see being around him and just seeing his football IQ. This is the type of things I would like to be around. Football is a tricky game. You can't come into a game and this game specifically and just think know it all, everything, and it's all about growing. It's all about growing and improving. And where I'm at now, to be alongside with an established coach as Andy Reid, it makes sense, for me in my career.
Andy mentioned that he sees you being a starter, obviously, and you've been watching them. So, what kind of tandem do you hope you can form with Marcus?
He's awesome. Marcus Peters is really awesome. Love the way he plays. Been on the other side of playing against him and him make plays and be a little bit upset in terms of just being competitive and wanting to win. But he's took the league by storm. Very talented player, and I'm excited, about what we can do.
How disappointing was last year as a whole for you?
Very, as a competitor, very disappointing. I was in a place where I never experienced something like that before, especially coming off the wrist surgery, and our team not doing that very well. With the season, there was a lot of ups and downs. So, and me being one of the leaders, everything's you're in a microscope. So. For me personally, it was very disappointing, but at the same time, it's a learning curve as well.
How close are you to your prime weight?
Prime weight, I'm 208 right now. So.
Where were you at last season?
I was way over. I was way over, and that's coming in off of wrist surgery, and really just thinking I was okay at that time, but. I learned a valuable lesson, and I think that's why, I took a lot of time off to really reflect on last year and just use it as fuel for me as I continue my career.
Hey guys, a couple more, okay?
I just got one more to
I got
say.
you. Yep.
How close is 208 to what you were in, let's say, 2013 or 2012 or 2011?
Well, my playing weight my early career was 205. So, I mean, right now, I think that's just water weight. I probably chugged about 8 waters today. So, so once I actually get out on the field and start running around, I'm sure that water weight would just shed off.
Last one, Matt.
What role does Bob Sutton being here have to do with you being here as well? And have you talked to Bob, and what did he say to you?
Bob has been, has been very vital in my success, even, getting drafted to the Jets in 2007. He was the D coordinator. So he helped me. He helped me grow as a football player. He helped me grow as a man. So actually, teaming back up with him and loving what he does as a defensive coordinator is a no-brainer. And I think that's why one of the reasons that I wanted to come play for the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right.
All right, here we go. Here's to wrap this thing up. It's me, it's Sam Mellinger, columnist, Vahe Gregorian, columnist, at the Star to break down this signing and what we think. Here we go. All right, so I'm pleased to welcome on 2 members of the A-Team who are on assignment but came off assignment because we might have a semi-big deal. A-Team coast to coast, as Vahe just said. Sam Mellinger, Vahe Gregorian. What's going on, man?
Nothing, man. How are you?
I'm great.
Terez?
Nothing like the...
I'm good. I'm over here in New York City on the other coast getting ready to go maybe take a walk to watch all the Macy's parade figures up in their stalls getting ready to come out tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Good. Well, anytime you plan on having personal time, you can count on the Chiefs ruining that. Gotta love the pre-Thanksgiving news, big news thing. I'm very much looking forward to the Chiefs trading Alex Smith mysteriously on Christmas Day. Even though it'll be 8 weeks past the deadline, I'm sure that's what happened. No, I thank you guys for coming on. Look, let's just get into it. Darrelle Revis. What kind of impact is this? Just in case you guys didn't see, got a source telling me that it was 2-year deal, veteran minimum this year, no guaranteed money in 2018 either. So it's basically a trial run. What are your thoughts, man?
Well, Sammy, why don't you go first, man?
Yeah, I can't think of one single reason not to do it. Like there's no guaranteed money. It's a trial run, right? It's a trial run for a guy. And Terez, you're one of the people that actually votes on this. But he's a Hall of Famer, right?
Oh yeah, I'm
if he never plays another snap.
$1,000,000% I'm voting.
So there's no risk. Like I don't understand. I don't know what the downside to this is. If you think he's better than what you have, and from what we've seen, he probably is. This is not Revis Island. That's not what they're buying. That's not what certainly not what they're paying for. I don't think that's what they expect to get. But if you can get a guy who's like an average NFL cornerback, even a little bit below average NFL cornerback, it's an upgrade.
I agree.
Hey, and look, I would just add that here he is. He is a Hall of Famer. He's kind of in the autumn of his career, right? He's 32, but no downside to trying this. And let's face it, this has become a glaring gap in their game. I mean, it's something they've got to do something about. And I can't remember which of you guys articulated this so well the other day, but having Philip Gaines be in that coverage a couple plays in a row with the game on the line is not to the Chiefs' advantage right now. And if they're serious about, kind of hitting the reset button and getting back to early season form and having a chance to do something in the playoffs, I don't think they're going to be able to do it with the crew they've got there right now. So what the heck?
I've got so many thoughts on this. And look, I was the guy that was saying, if there's somebody out there available right now, there's a reason they probably can't help you because corners are in such demand. If you can play, you're going to get signed. But there's a couple things I heard today after the press conferences that make me kind of optimistic about this. The number one thing is his weight. I asked him directly, what does he weigh now? He said 208, and his prime weight was 205. Then I asked him what his weight was last season, which was the worst of his career. And he said, and I'm dead serious, I like this guy because it looks like he's going to be honest. Guys, I swear to God, he was like, way more. He was like, way more. So here's the thing. He doesn't need to be Revis Island. He just needs to be, like you said, Sam, adequate. Like the concept of having 24 Revis with Peters. Now you're going to throw at Steven Nelson in the slot. But guess what? If Revis is just adequate, like, you can, like, devote resources toward helping Nelson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a really good point. Yep.
Terez, how much do you think? Oh, go ahead.
And also, if he's like, again, if he's like just average, and if they get lucky and he's above average, this is the kind of thing that can really add some. And this is what it is. This has a chance to add some juice to this team when they need it. Like, this team needs a spark right now. The fan base needs a spark.
Personality-wise, too, right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
And that's what I was going to ask you too, and maybe I should state it in the form of a statement instead of a question. But isn't there some obvious upside here? And maybe it's just an intangible thing, but his experience and what he's been in the league, and even his experience, working with Bob Sutton, don't those sorts of things kind of factor into what he might offer, even if it's not 25-year-old version of it?
I think what that does too is, I guess they talked about this a little bit today, but it makes it more plausible that he'll be ready because he's played for Bob Sutton and knows the system.
Oh, yeah.
The learning part of it will not be as much if he went and played for whatever, the Broncos, the Bears, the Vikings, the Cowboys, whatever. Like, that part of it, I think, is pretty nuts. The other thing I kept thinking about too when I saw this, I know I made the baseball analogy the other day about, non-competitive pitches, and Alex was making some non-competitive throws the other day. Like, in baseball, when a team trades for a starting pitcher at the deadline, like, that means that they're number 5, like their worst starting pitcher. Like, that's how you judge it. The guy they trade versus the worst that they have, and that's the upgrade.
Right.
And that's what this is too. This is not, like we were arguing a little bit. I think all three of us maybe agreed on this, but that Terrence Mitchell was the best of the group that they were sort of giving tryouts to, but there were no good options. Like, none of those guys were really killing it. So, if he's just a nominal upgrade, like, think about this, like the Giants game, would they have lost that game? I don't know. Like, would Darrelle Revis have been able to make that play that Phil Gaines couldn't? That put the ball near the goal line for the winning points. I just don't know. Like, that could have made the difference in a game like that.
There's one other thing I like about this too, and you guys know I'm a football historian. I really, really, really like the veteran guy who comes in like mid-season and like has some juice and gives you some energy. Like, think of Deion Sanders in 1994 with the 49ers. Think of Andre Rison, and Andy Reid actually mentioned this, with the Packers in 1996. Like, it kind of gives you a second wave of energy and like another reason to believe if it works out. And again, it's a no-risk proposition. They didn't spend any money, really. There's nothing really to lose. All it does is kind of give you some juice going forward. And Andy Reid, by the way, un-Andy-like, basically said he will be a starter. He's like, I see him as a starter. Yeah,
I was surprised at that.
Yeah, he started off with we'll see. Let's just see how it goes. Then he got pushed a little bit. He's like, he's a starter.
There was a little bit of like the Charlie Weiss. That's what that reminded me of. When he was, remember when he got in trouble for this too, and rightfully so. But he was like, "Have you seen the crap that we have right now? And you can't play for us." Like that. That's what that reminded me of.
A little more depth touch by Andy, right? In the NFL at least, with grown, but it's.
And then Andy going with we got some young guys over there that are trying their guts out, trying their hearts out, right? And I think it's a win-win situation.
Which is almost worse. Like, they're trying so hard.
Hey, you guys help refresh my memory on this, and just to go back to what Sam said. So if he'd been in there on the play that basically set up the winning points for the Giants, if I recall right, Gaines was not actually in bad position, and this has happened a few times, not in bad position, just something breaks down with the footwork or the technique right at the point of impact of the play, whether it's, breaking it up or not. So would we assume that if he's in a similar position, if he's in good shape, he'll be there, and he just has the aptitude and the experience that makes him make that play?
Right, because
You would
like
hope,
honestly,
but, I mean, remember too, there was pass interference on that play. If I forgot who got it.
right.
If the guy
Yeah.
didn't catch it, there was also a penalty there. I mean, I don't know. Like the thing is, like, and this is why the money part of it's important too, right? Like, couldn't have done worse. You know, like the worst thing you can do is commit a penalty while giving up the catch.
I'll also say this.
That's what Phil Gates did.
I'll also say this.
Right.
I think this might be good for 22. We know, based on what David Eulis said, that there was some frustration at the number of passes that get completed on the other side of the field. I'd like to see Marcus Peters yell at Darrelle Revis. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't care how bad he's playing.
Yeah.
He's not going to be yelling
Hey, listen,
at Darrelle Revis.
I think that's a great point. I mean, especially with Eric Berry out, right? I mean,
totally.
Eric Berry was a real anchor for Marcus Peters emotionally. At least I think we think that.
No,
And,
we know that.
maybe-
Take that to the bank.
Yeah, so there's a little void there in that, and I think that's a heck of a point, Terez.
Yeah, no, just I'd like to see him start yelling. Nah, that won't happen. Also think like Revis had a reputation as a bit of a diva, right? As recently as last year, but because all the really talented corners kind of have that trait in them. I do think having Revis around, if he's playing well and he's productive, is like a good thing for Marcus and some of these other guys. And actually the defense as a whole, they just don't have a lot of alpha personalities. And you're kind of banking on this guy being just solid. Like, make a play.
Yeah,
like,
just be okay.
Make a
just
play.
Be average. And one thing, like, we could talk about Marcus, and we do, and we are. And that, there's like some connotations, right, that always come with Marcus and like his personality and stuff. But he's got respect for guys that have done it.
Oh yeah,
you know, especially at his position. Like he's got a world of respect for those guys. Remember Charles Woodson? Remember like the way that he treated him and talked about him.
He reveres him,
you know,
actually.
Yeah, and I think they only overlapped like 1 year, right? Like I think Marcus's rookie year was Woodson's last year. But anyway, Darrelle Revis is in that category, and there's just not a crumb of a chance that Marcus doesn't respect the bejesus out of Darrelle Revis, and is going to give him the deserved respect that his career has.
And that's the thing. Like,
it's an interesting question about how alpha a guy can be when he first comes in, too, though, right? I mean,
that's a good point.
Andy's giving him a little step that way right away by sort of basically saying that I can see him. I mean that gives him a leg up on that opportunity, I think.
I think he can, though. I think as long as he's playing well and like it goes well, if he's really 208. And he said he drank like 8 glasses of water today. So he literally, once he starts training, might get down to like 205. If he's like back to his playing weight and he's just solid, he's somebody that holds some weight among players because of how great he was. And I actually really like this signing. This has a chance to be I think this has a chance to be one of those moves where if it all goes right, like you look back at the end of the year and be like, yeah, that might have changed things for him a little bit. It just kind of gives fans new hope, too, because they needed that. Fans were done with this team.
Terez, I'm sorry. I've been a little out of it, so I'm unclear on this. Do they expect that he can play right away?
Andy said that we got to see, but he said that he mentioned that he knows the system already, which is one of the things that
physically, just in terms of his
playing he said he looks great. He said that based on what he was told by Brett Veach and those guys, he looks great. So, we don't know if he's going to play, but he certainly left the door open for it. He did not poo-poo it.
Wow.
Yeah. And also, this too, like we're talking about whether he plays this Sunday, right, against the Bills.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
He could probably play, if they're talking about maybe he can play this Sunday, we think he can probably play next Sunday, in which they play
the Jets. He's not missing that game.
That is awesome.
Yeah, he will play then.
He's not missing that game.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts, guys?
The key, though, too. Go ahead, Vahe.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, I don't. I also haven't really studied the finances of this, but basically, he's going to be getting paid by the Jets to play against the Jets?
No, they cut him.
Not
right?
quite.
So, it's a prorated.
But he's got some salary still come prorated, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's some dead
prorated vet minimum that the Chiefs are paying him. But that's the key to me too. Like as long as we all agree on two things, that one, like reasonable expectations, that average is great. Like if he's average, that's great for them. And the other thing, like there's just again, there's just absolutely no downside. And the only downside could happen if he just comes in and somehow blows up the room. And I just don't know how that could happen. Like, that would be pretty shocking.
That's a good point. Let me say this before I forget. Andy's mentioned explicitly that he spoke to some veteran leaders on the team about this before it happened to see how they felt, and they all said they felt like he was a good guy. So we don't know who
Marcus was a veteran leader that he spoke to?
I don't know. He didn't get into specifics, but I would imagine he'd talk to Marcus. But I think Marcus just wants to win. Honestly, I think Marcus is tired.
I do too.
I'm sure Marcus is tired of seeing 180 targets go to the other side of the field and be completed with reckless abandon. So one other thing this does, we kind of don't know if this is just like a nickel thing where Revis would be on the outside and nickel, and if Nelson is starting the base, it almost doesn't matter because every team goes 3 wide anyway. But what it does is knock everyone down a peg. So, in that space, if Nelson's your nickel, good. That's great. You'll take that. And then, if somebody gets hurt and you got to go to some of those other guys, I didn't think Gaines played that bad on Sunday. So, aside from the end of the game, which you can argue was Bob Sutton's fault for running 2 all-out blitzes, I didn't think he played that bad. So, this is a pretty safe trial run. I don't see the negatives to it, guys. I just don't.
Totally. Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Guys, I appreciate you jumping on. Do you have any other thoughts on this? Anything we haven't covered?
I don't, man. I hope he plays. I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see, what this looks like.
Yeah, okay. Appreciate you guys, and I hope you enjoy your time in your respective coasts, okay? Enjoy. I'll see you guys Sunday, okay?
Thanks for anchoring us, Terez. We'll see you soon. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
All right, guys. See you.